Hi, my name is JJ Allen, owner and pharmacist of Sawyer Street Hometown Pharmacy in Oshkosh. Today I'm going to talk to you about places that most people could benefit from adding a dietary supplement. And where I always start with dietary supplements is going through people's diets. So if you do stop in your pharmacy, ask the pharmacist for this to go through the sheet with you. It's called What Do We Eat? So it does a very good job of going through your diet and figuring out where we're missing certain nutrients and how to get those nutrients up. So we're always looking at diet and lifestyle first, and then looking at supplements. So the three that I really want to touch on today are magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids. If you've ever been in the pharmacy or talked to me or seen me talking to people about supplements, these supplements come up over and over and over again. And the reason is we're really missing them from our diet or from our lifestyle. So when we look at magnesium, magnesium is found in the center of a chlorophyll molecule. So chlorophyll is that green pigment in green leafy vegetables. So these are things like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. And when I go through people's diets, most people aren't getting a lot of green leafy vegetables. So the first thing that we have people do is increase green leafy vegetables, but unfortunately, because of depleted soil that we're just putting back nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, even if we're eating a lot of green leafy vegetables, we still might not be getting the magnesium content that we need. So that's why a lot of people can benefit from a good magnesium supplement. The one that I recommend most to about 95% of my patients is Evolve Wellness, a magnesium glycinate. The reason that I recommend this specific supplement is because mainly of absorption. So the most popular magnesium supplement that you'll see on the pharmacy shelf is a magnesium oxide. And this one is very, very poorly absorbed. And I've had a lot of people who've taken magnesium oxide for years and have seen no benefit. And as soon as they switch to magnesium glycinate, they actually see absorption from the magnesium. And whether we're looking to decrease blood pressure, help with migraines, help with muscle cramping, we see symptom improvement. And again, this is because of absorption. So if you're taking a magnesium supplement and you're not seeing benefit, make sure you talk to your hometown pharmacist to make sure that you're getting one that actually can be absorbed and one that does not have any additives or fillers. And that's why my go-to is the magnesium glycinate from Evolve Wellness. And the second thing that we mentioned was vitamin D. So the reason most people are deficient in vitamin D is we don't get outside as much as we used to, and when we're outside, we're usually covered up. So we're wearing shirts like I have right now. So vitamin D is the one vitamin we can actually synthesize. But again, because we're not getting outside and having that, so basically how you make vitamin D, I should talk about that first, is when sun comes into contact with the skin, our body has a mechanisms that we can make vitamin D. But if we're not exposing our skin to sunlight, our body can't make it. So the first recommendation I always have for people is to make sure you get your vitamin D level. And if you go to the doctor and they haven't taken a vitamin D level, you can talk to your hometown pharmacist, because we actually can do vitamin D levels for you and then help you to send them into the mail so we can get a level. Then once we have your level, then we can get more specific with the dosing. But if you don't know your vitamin D level, a good place to start, and what I always recommend, is the product from Orthomolecular called K-Force. So the reason I recommend K-Force, it has 5,000 international units of vitamin D, and for 90% of people, 5,000 units is a good place to start to bump their vitamin D up to levels that we know are going to help to prevent chronic disease. And the other thing that's good about the K-Force is it actually includes vitamin K2. And vitamin K2 is another nutrient that is necessary for calcium to be shuttled to the correct spots in the bone. And most people are missing vitamin K2 as well because it's found in fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, and natto that in the American diet we're not getting enough of. So the second recommendation, 99% of my patients I have on is a K-Force, but the way to get it naturally is to get outside, and as we're getting closer to summer, it's a lot easier to get outside and enjoy the sunlight. And then the third supplement that commonly comes up is an omega-3 fatty acid. So most people aren't getting a lot of fatty fish in their diet. The best source of omega-3s are in things like sardines, anchovies, and salmon. But unfortunately now a lot of the farm-raised salmon doesn't have the omega-3s that it used to have. So again, when we're missing it from our diet, we want to get the omega-3s up to help prevent chronic disease down the road. And the reason why omega-3s are so impactful is they are incorporated into every single cell. So all of our cells in our body, which is just the smallest unit that makes us up, has it's called a membrane around it. And this membrane is made up of fatty acids. And if we don't have enough omega-3s, like in this orthomega, the cell can get stiff. So if we have eating too much saturated fats, so these are things like from butter, things like from vegetable oils, they actually get incorporated in that cell membrane. It doesn't allow the cell membrane to flex. And when the cell membrane can't flex, we can't get nutrients in and out, and the cells can't communicate as well together. So in order to improve the flexibility of that cell membrane and improve how our tissues function, we want to increase our omega-3 fatty acids. The place I always have people start is increasing fatty fish intake, but then after that, most people still aren't getting enough. We want to increase it through a good quality fish oil supplement like Orthomega. And again, the reason I love the Orthomega supplement is they actually concentrate the fish oil, so they have concentrated sources of EPA and DHA, and those are things you're looking for. And they make sure that there's no toxins in there, so like mercury and a bunch of other things can build up in bigger fish, and they just use the smaller anchovy, which makes it a lot safer, and you're able to get those omega-3s up. And if you're interested as well, there's actually a test that we provide in the pharmacy called the omega-3 index, where you actually just do a pinprick test, and then it actually looks at your red blood cell and looks how many omega-3s are incorporated into the cell membrane. So it can tell you whether or not you're getting enough from your diet. And if you're not, that's where we know we can increase omega-3s through a supplement. And if you are, that's where we know we can just stay right where we're at. So to recap, when I look at dietary supplements, the first place I always start with people is what are we missing from our diet? And then we try to add those things through our diet first, but a lot of times that's not feasible. So to prevent disease down the road and to prevent the need for medications, the supplements that come up over and over again that most people get a benefit from are a vitamin D with K2, an omega-3 fatty acid, and a magnesium, specifically magnesium glycinate. But again, depending on your certain disease states and your medications, these can change. So make sure that you work with your pharmacist before starting or stopping any dietary supplements, and let us help you to live a healthier life.